welcome back, Scent Squad. Emerald C here with a fragrance review for Carolina Herrera Good Girl Blush and Good Girl Blush Elixir. So I have both of these. Super excited to tell you how I'm feeling about these fragrances. I actually bought the Good Girl Blush in this beautiful heel from, I think, Sephora online, end of 2023. This was a blind buy. I just basically went by the notes that were in here and I'm like, this seems like this would be interesting, but I didn't want to commit to a larger bottle, so boom, the mini. And the mini's super cute because I have a lot of Carolina Herrera's Good Girl mini, so this fit right in. And also, like, how sexy is this like little pump stiletto heel thing, right? This one is the Blush Elixir, and we all know elixirs, they come and they bring the sexy. I've never met an elixir that I didn't like or didn't take up the initial to the next level. So this right here is the Elixir. Now this one I actually got online through like a Macy's sample, and they sent out a bunch of different fragrance samples. This was one of them that was actually in the box, and I'm like, oh, let me see how this compares to the one I already have. Now Carolina Herrera's Good Girl Blush EDP, this one is a phenomenal spring, summer, daytime fragrance. This, when I first smelled it, it's funny because I thought immediately, like, this smells like Easter. This smells like Sunday mornings in church, like a youthful version of the classic iconic Chanel No. 5. How we think Chanel No. 5 is really iconic for being nostalgic. It is a vintage fragrance for the older ladies. This right here seems like the staple version of that on an Easter Sunday or a church Sunday for the younger ladies. Now, when I'm saying younger, I'm thinking maybe 25 to 35. I feel like this is cute for that age range. It smells like pink dresses or like a cute brunch scent. I feel like this is a really cute brunch scent. It smells like if Carrie Hilson had a theme fragrance for her video Pretty Girl Rock, that song, this is what would be worn for that video. This is what her whole set of the video smell like, just like this. This is phenomenal for the ladies. It is a very long lasting fragrance. So I'm thinking anywhere between 8 to 10 hours. It does last very long. And of course, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and hit them post points so it can last even longer. The sillage for it, I don't feel like it projects very big, and it's not a loud fragrance. Though it is long lasting, it's not something that's like huge. It's not gonna slap you in the face. It's very soft and alluring. We get hit with bergamot followed by bitter almond. Peony is pretty much the beginning of our secondary middle heart notes, and then ylang ylang. Our base notes, which are essentially what you normally smell at dry down, are vanilla and coumarin. So they round off for what you're going to smell for this fragrance, even though I feel like for the entity of the fragrance, you're going to get that peony and the vanilla. This is a perfect, fresh, floral, romantic fragrance. It's most certainly giving romantic. This smells like something you can wear if you are traveling to Paris. If you're at Paris and you're at a pretty little cafe and you're just sitting there enjoying your cafe au lait and you are wearing this fragrance. This is the fragrance that you have there in your pretty little pleated pink skirt, right? Follow the vibe, and a wonderful cream colored blouse that's like tied at the top. Something silk or satin, something that's just like really pretty. That's what this fragrance smells like. It's giving those vibes. Very much so Paris, pretty girl, bougie, okay? Carolina Herrera Good Girl Blush Elixir. So this honestly smells like the OG, right? This smells very similar to the original, but it's like this is good girl versus bad girl. But this is more potent. This really packs a punch. So this is more like the daytime version. Like we're wearing this in the daytime, where the Good Girl Blush Elixir is more of like the nighttime fragrance. It's very much so giving evening, and mostly because of that dry down of the earthly patchouli in this fragrance. So this is another fragrance that again is for the ladies. This is for us. I feel like the projection and the longevity of the fragrance is pretty much the same as the original. I don't feel like it differs a lot in there. There are a lot of the same similar notes in the Elixir as we have in the OG, like the original Good Girl Blush, right? With the exception of there's bitter orange that's added in this one, followed by rose and patchouli. Those are the only three that are different. So our notes for the Good Girl Carolina Herrera Blush Elixir, we are smelling bergamot and mandarin orange as our top notes. So those come first, followed by our secondary notes of ylang ylang. I always try to make sure I enunciate that correctly because it begins with a Y, but it's just like enunciated so uniquely. So we have ylang ylang as our secondary note, mixed in with a sprinkle of that rose. Base notes are vanilla and patchouli. So you get the creamy vanilla rounded off by like the earthy patchouli. And that patchouli, the dry down of that is a little bit husky, which is why I feel like it rounds it off to be like a nice evening scent. This is the little sample, the little sample pamphlet, if you may, that this came in, and it says it is an ambery floral. It's exquisite and luxurious. The new feminine fragrance. Now, I'm actually wearing it on my right wrist. I'm gonna go ahead and spray another layer. And it does have a nice big kick, like when you first spray it on. But for the dry down, it'll definitely settle in very well. This is great if you work in an office and your job is like, yeah, you can't wear loud fragrances. This is too much for the office. This right here is a safer scent that you can easily wear to the office. You can easily wear it, you know, at lunch or evening time. Now, don't get me wrong. You can still wear it during the daytime, but I feel like there's some components of this fragrance that just round it off to be slightly more of an evening / late afternoon fragrance. Like when you're getting ready before the sun sets. If you're walking hand in hand, again, another Paris fragrance. If you're walking hand in hand with your boo, and this is the fragrance that you're wearing. There's a light breeze in the air that allows your hair to just like flow a little bit. It blows on the bottom of your dress just a little bit, and this fragrance wafts through the air, and the trail just travels on just a little bit. But again, it's not a big trail, so it doesn't, no big trail on, just a small trail on, wafting through the air. And then your boo looks over and goes, oh my God, you smell lovely, darling. It smells like that. That's what this fragrance reminds me of. If you have either one of these fragrances, I want to hear your feedback. I want to hear what you guys think of it. Again, I know the Elixir just dropped in 2024 and the OG Blush dropped in 2023. If you have either one of these fragrances, I want to know what you think about the fragrance. If you have it, what's longevity looking like for you? Is it a compliment getter for you? For me, not so much, because again, it just came out and I wore it. Well, now I did get compliments. I got compliments from my in-laws when I went over for Easter, where they said I smell good. So that it was a baby compliment getter. Okay, we'll start off there. So if you have the fragrance, I want to know feedback from you guys. If you love fragrances, I need you to stop what you're doing right now. Hit that subscribe button right now. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I know you see it. You might as well tap it. I want you to be welcome to the Emerald Sea Fragrance family. And until then, I'll see you in the next video. Toodaloo, Scent Squad.